Welcome, Sergeant Stalker, to the Beret Club. Thank you very much, Beachhead. I'm very happy to be here. Wait, is there someone behind me? Snake Eyes! Come on, man. Why are you always sneaking up on somebody? You ain't that right, man. G.I.Joe. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Toys Equals Midlife Crisis Squared, or T equals MC Squared. So, this is going to be my very first figure review, and this is Kamakura, which is a figure that wasn't originally released by Hasbro or was part of the Greatest American Hero line. This was a character that came out in the early 2000s when and I apologize, I'm not going to know the name of the brand that owned the rights to it at the time, but they had released it as part of a different figure line separate from Greatest American Hero, and he was also in the IDW comic line. Very intricate backstory, and is tied in with Snake Eyes and Crimson Guard and all kinds of cool stuff. And in fact, in this cover, it's very clear that Hasbro is going for that, sorry for the glare, is going for that comic look as he looked in the comic books. So having a quick look here, you've got the almighty stats that nobody seems to want to go through. So I'm just going to go through it really quick. This is his pausing for all that wonderful editing I'm going to now have to do. So what this is covert ops. Yeah, so this right here is covert ops, and he's level 2, as indicated by this little triangle and that star. Otherwise, he would just be level 1. And he's level 3 in bladed weapons, level 2 in stealth, and then level 3 in ninjutsu. Now, if you want to compare, I'll just say that Snake Eyes is level 4 in all these areas. So he's not beating Snake Eyes in anything anytime soon. But as a conversely to that, there's Storm Shadow, and Storm Shadow is level 4 covert ops, level 3 bladed weapons, and level 4 ninjutsu. So he's not going to be beating Storm Shadow either. But be that as it may. This is the back. I'm having to put it in an angle just because of the glare, and I apologize for that. So this gives you all the information that is pretty much useless at this point, since it's not really sitting at the store shelves. The only thing I find mildly interesting is that it gives you all the stuff he's going to come with, but then tells you how tall he is, and he does appear to be slightly taller than 6 inches, so he's going to be towering over some folk on your shelf if you put him next to other Joes. And some more, or much more moody artwork, bloody artwork. And so he is number 61 in the series, and it makes you wonder, well, hey, where did all the 50s go? It seems like we may have skipped a few numbers, in releases, because it seems like some of the releases coming out kind of scattered, like, oh, this is number 47. Oh, look, it's number 43, and then 51, 61. So we've skipped some stuff, in my opinion. So, with that said, let's get her open. Let's free Kamakura from his prison. Trusty bladed weapon. Alright, I'm ripping the box. Yay. Alright, so I'm going at it probably in a different direction than most folks probably would. And oh, we've got openage. Right? There it is. Yay. You've probably seen this on a million other reviews that you've been going through. And look at that, an empty box where he's been freed from his captivity. Alright, so, yay. We'll just put that back there for no one to care about looking at. And let's see, hither. There he blows, like a lump on a snow hill. 'Tis Moby Kamakura! Whee! That was fun. So, let's free him from his shackles. We shall use a trusty green wire cutters because, hey, he's green. So let's just do that. Why not? Why not be matching today? and obviously I'm not even seeing how well this is all showing up on film. So if it looks ugly and disgusting, I'm terribly sorry. I'm rather new at this, being this is my first review and all. There he is. Look at that. Didn't even pose him out of the box. And there he not quite stands. So there he is in his masked form, which, to be fair, that's probably how I'm going to keep him, because I like ninjas and I don't particularly need to have him undone there. So here he is from the side with the Rashikage symbol, which I think is really cool. The plates are very samurai armor-ish. He's got the kind of a bamboo looking armor on the calves, which is also equally pretty cool. The back, not much exciting going on there. And a full armored arm and his wonderful green gi. So let's open up his exciting and wonderful footlocker. It says Kamakura on it. Yeah, well, you know, right now it practically belongs to trash. So, as everyone has likely seen before, the dumpage of the contents. Yay! Packaging, stabbing, cutting, ripping, spilling of the visceral. Alright, done and done there. And let's, oh Lord God. Okay, so we got these taped in accessories borrowed from figure releases that nobody wanted. And I don't particularly care for them, to be honest. I'm not going to use them. Because one, they didn't come with this figure, like at all originally. Originally, Kamakura came with like a sword and a 3-staffed nunchuck, which would have been really, really cool had Hasbro decided, hey, yeah, let's at least do someone a solid. But no, in this particular figure, you're going to see how basically what they decided to do was borrow. We're just going to borrow from everyone and everything of all these accessories you didn't want because you didn't buy the Snake Eyes Origin stuff. No, you didn't. So guess what? We're going to make you get it anyway. Ha ha ha. We're going to get our money's worth. So he comes with the trusty Uzi that came with at least 2 versions of Snake Eyes, the Commando Snake Eyes and the Timberwolf version 2 Snake Eyes, as well as his tiny little blade, which sheathes nowhere. So guess what? This thing's going to fall to the floor and be gone. And a pistol, which would normally be like a really cool sculpt for a pistol, and it is. However, you know, see this little muzzle thing there? Well, that normally would fit a nice, beautiful suppressor that he does not come with because, you know, Snake Eyes came with it because it's his pistol. And this lovely back of pack here that is supposed to go on its back to sheathe the swords is borrowed from Snake Eyes Origins Storm Shadow. And here's his interesting mug there. I don't know if that's going to show up well. I think it will. So there he is. It's kind of an interesting figure. Reasonably good sculpt, nice facial features. Put that next there. It's a nice severed head. And then you get this scarf accessory, and this is the scarf down, or the hood down scarf. Probably not going to use it. This is the sash, also borrowed from regular Storm Shadow Classified. And the ninja black, or not really black, but dark ninja hood, which is also borrowed from regular Storm Shadow. So then you get these nice little katana. It's not even quite a wakizashi. You know, I'm not sure how many of you have studied kendo or yado or any other bladed form, but for those out there who are interested, these are 2 different styles of blade. One's more of a long straight blade, which would be for a different discipline, and this long curved blade would be for another completely different discipline and sword techniques, because part of the techniques is hidden within the shape of the sword. So for example, this one being more curved than this one, you would tilt it away from your opponent to hide how long the sword is, so that when you go to slash it, he would have misjudged how far away he was and got cut. So it's very interesting that it gives you two different katana that absolutely would match. No person trained in covert Japanese martial arts is going to run around with two different, completely different katana. You also get this bizarre double-bladed yari, which once again is not at all a standard Japanese weapon in feudal Japan. And in fact, most people don't mention this, but the blades go in opposite directions. So this blade will go out that way, this blade will go out that way, which I guess is great if you're twirling it. But again, this was originally designed to knock people off horses. You jab at them. And so then you get the breakout versions like, oh no, I split it out because I'm a ninja and I've got these two little nubbies. I'm going to just, make little surface cuts because this is not even deadly at all. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not using these either. And these all, by the way, these accessories come with a Kiko from the Snake Eyes Origin series that nobody bought. So guess what? You get to have her accessories whether you like it or not. And these, of course, came with Snake Eyes Origins Storm Shadow, which once again, most people didn't get, which is a shame. Even though he was a terrible Storm Shadow, he made a really good ninja army builder. And that's a subject for a whole nother video. So, with that said, there are some things I do wish to point out. And that is what he borrows from. So, putting out good old Storm Shadow here. Essentially, it's the same body, torso, and pelvis area. They're borrowed directly. There's just no change there. And the feet are identical, just a repaint. So really the only thing new on him is going to be the head sculpt, the arm sculpts, and the full leg sculpts. Those are not borrowed at all. So that at least you get is new. And that's reasonable, and I can dig that. Now, as I was saying earlier, a Kiko that nobody wanted, nobody likes. Yes, my Kiko looks vastly different and much improved, if I may add. At least, thankfully, it's not borrowing any of the features, only the weapons. Right? So let's represented by your lovely weapons. And the very poor and diminished Storm Shadow that nobody liked. However, I will say this. There you can see on the back here. Oh, yes. The borrowed swords. And the borrowed backpack, which is fine. And like I said, terrible Storm Shadow, but would make an absolutely fantastic army builder, which is I bought 2 of them, just so they can be Storm Shadow's sentries, I guess you could say. And thankfully, if I'm going to show you another comparison here, is yeah, use your head, knock people down. It's great, lovely, awesome. See, Kamakura is doing his work before I even have a chance to pose him at all. Stand up. Straight. Okay, here's Arctic. See that? What are you doing? Ha! Get up! You call yourself a ninja? I was not trained for many years to just fall on your flesh. Alright, so thankfully there's nothing being borrowed even for... Wow! Maybe I should edit this stuff out because I'm terrible. Sorry about that. Try that again. Those weak abdominal crunch gears are just... He looks all sad, dejected. That's right, you are sad and dejected. So, yeah, put that little head back. Alright, so again, nothing borrowed, and is actually kind of sort of the same height. And the only reason I would probably use the hood is to maybe match them up, but to be fair, this hood type is just so much better than this one. I'm not a big fan of this weird, almost looks like Cobra. Looks like a Cobra hood. That's why it doesn't really make sense that he would be wearing that. Oh yeah, right. The other accessories. So yeah, the pistol, the Uzi, and the tiny little knife. Well, that all comes from Snake Eyes, because of course it is. There's his Uzi. There's the knife, and there's the pistol. Same pistol, but golly gee, no suppressor. Is that what I trained you to do? Is that what I trained you to do, to hold a pistol with no suppressor? Okay, storm off. Alright, so, articulation, I'm sure you've seen everybody kind of doing the same thing. He can look around. He can not do a whole lot of looking up. That's really bizarre. So he can't look up very far, but he can look down-ish. He can kind of look down. No, I can't. And he rotates all the way around. He's got he can T-pose. They've got all those butterfly joints, which are great because you could kind of get him to come forward, but not well. And no, I'm not going to heat him up. I'm not doing that. But yeah, I guess you can have him hold at least, one sword in the, I guess in a kendo traditional way. Let's see. So yes, he can and will hold it almost straight. Can't quite. I could sort of get him into a standard pose, kind of, sort of. You can see. I think you can even get him to bend since he's got pinless elbow or pinless joints here. Let's see if I can get him into a standard pose. Probably not. Almost. I can do it with, believe it or not, I could do it with snake eyes. Just not with, he's a little too bulky to get it next to his head. Because you want to get it right there. Sort of. Can kind of sort of do it. It's a little too close to his head. Anyway, I think you get the point. So he can, with a little bit of finagling, editing, you might be able to get him to get into proper poses with it. But still pretty cool, I guess, nonetheless. It is a ninja. Can't go wrong with that. He can do the twist. It's a bit tight. Can ab crunch back. Can ab crunch forward like he's throwing up. He can T-pose or do the splits, Van Damme style, with these hips. Oh man, bending his leg though, a bit tough. There we go. Can kick his own butt. Boom, shakalaka. All right. Yeah, a little tough on those joints. Knee joints are a bit rough. But yeah, he's got the boot swivel, got the foot swivel, and the rocker. Because he's a rocker, man. Alright, so that is he in a nutshell. No, he's not, because you don't have a nutshell to put him in. Yeah, whatever. So, it was just another ninja to add to the pile, I suppose. Hey, he could play soccer with his own head. Oh. Alright, there he won't go because he won't stay. I always have a lot of problem with that. There you have it. There he is. Kamakura in all of his glory. Now, as to whether or not you would consider this a quote-unquote deluxe model, here beeth my rant, if you've stuck around this long. So, with a deluxe setup, you're supposed to be getting a lot of accessories. And it's not that they didn't throw in a lot of accessories. It's about what accessories they chose to pad the figure with that I have a severe problem with. Okay? I mean, what? Do they have just like a box lying around of weapons that they're like, well, we didn't particularly get a lot of use out of these because no one bought them, so let's just dig in the pile, put one tiny little paint app, and be done with it. I mean, all this stuff is borrowed. Every last bit of it. All that, except for the head, all of that junk is borrowed from other figures. In fact, again, a good 50% of his body, or the chunk of his body, was also borrowed from other figures. So really, along with saving money on the packaging because of no plastic, because I'm sorry, they're not trying to be ecological. They were trying to be financially, fiscally conservative by removing the plastic. They saved themselves something like 15 or 17 cents per box. But guess what? They did not pass those savings on to you. No, they sure didn't. No, what they did was they did all this cost-saving measure, saves them a ton of money, and then jumped the price up so they can make massive profit. So that being said, yeah, I guess it worked. We bought it. I bought it. A lot of other people are buying it. It's going to come down to this. It's from in the standpoint of a figure, an articulated figure. It's good. I mean, it is. It's got great detail. It's got the pinless joints that are so great. So I'm here for it. I think it's a good figure in that regard. And it's a ninja besides. And I'm a sucker for some ninjas. I've got pretty much every ninja they've released. In fact, hold on one second. I'm going to pause. Hey, you know what? Let's do some comparisons. Why not? So, let's first start with Marvel Legends Wolverine here. As you can see, he's much taller than Wolverine, but that should be normal considering Wolverine is a very short character. Let's put him up next to, say, Ironheart. See, he's kind of taller than Ironheart in many respects. Pretty cool and nifty. Alright. Now let's take on a few more other characters. Let's say this guy from Valaverse. Ooh, shorter than a guy from Valaverse. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I know he's a battalion character that's specific to Big Bag Toy Store. Now let's take a look at Roadblock. You know, Roadblock towers above him, as probably he should. Nice. Okay, and how about the Red Ninja, in case he was going to fight a Red Ninja? And the Red Ninjas don't have a high skill level, so he should be able to whoop up on them without too much issue. Now let's see, his old buddy, old pal, old mentor, Snake Eyes. So how about the Commando Snake Eyes? Wow, yeah, that's pretty close in height. Like it, I dig it. So now, let's see. Ooh, I know. Let's go with, how about Jason Voorhees? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting size comparison. What do you think? I think that's pretty interesting, don't you think? Let's see. Ooh, I know. Let's see. I had somebody else, but then they kind of went away. Noise. Oh, yes. So let's try an alien. Yeah. Kind of an interesting size comparison. Yeah, very interesting. Alright, and let's go back to Marvel for a second on another size comparison. How about a size comparison to Venom? Yes, a little large there. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, I know. How about... I had another one lined up. Oh, yeah. How about a nice dragon? Yeah, pretty nice size comparison there to... Oh, he's dead! How about that? He slayed a dragon right here on screen, but so ninja quick, it's totally dead before it knew it. Anyway, that's Kamakura. I hope you had fun with this very strange and sloppy video by me. And tune in next time for some more interesting shenanigans from this crazy guy. The spirit of vengeance! Yeah! Yeah!